Welcome to War Thunder with Subdued. How y'all doing today? Well, just got done with another failed mission with the F-105 Thunderchief, and I was the only survivor of my team. Now, you might be going, you ran away, you went and landed. Okay, I'll take that criticism because that's what I should have done. And the reason I should have done it is because the Smolensk map, as nice as it is for rank 4 and 5 aircraft, for supersonic aircraft, it is not a good map. It's too confined. And it seems like, well, let's just take a look at the composition of my team. Well, you can't tell right now, but 3/4 of my team was in F-105 Thunderchiefs. You can tell by the amount of bombs that were dropped. But what you can't tell is that the players are not using the F-105 properly. The F-105 Thunderchief is a bomber. It is a ordnance delivery system, originally designed to be a nuclear ordnance delivery system. It's fast, it flies low, and it's a go machine. Just ask the MiG-21 pilot who was trying to chase me down one time on the Afghanistan map. He was closing until I just started putting it into a slight climb and just walking away from him very slowly, but walking away from him nonetheless. And then I just started a gentle turn, until I had basically run him out of gas. Using the F-105, you want the big maps. You don't want the small maps, you want the big ones. Why? You take a full tank of gas, you put that thing in overdrive, afterburner, you kick the tires and light the fires. You go. And you do it in a straight line. You are not a dogfighter. You're in a bomber. Now, yeah, you can say, well, all I carry are sidewinders. Like, great. You basically fell out of bed that morning on your head. This is not a dogfighter. Now, you can get kills. I've gotten kills with this plane. But most of the time, they're AI. Because the AIM-9E is not that great of a weapon. Now, you know, if they let us sneak a couple of those AIM-9Gs from the Navy over here, it would probably be a little bit better. But we can't get the AIM-9G, we get the AIM-9E. And just remember, this plane was the only U.S. plane in history ever removed from service for the number of losses. Now, most of those losses came from the SA-2, or I think it was the S-25 in Soviet service. But the guideline anti-aircraft missile, surface-to-air missile. And from AAA. And the reason is because it wasn't being flown advantageously, and that's because of Washington, D.C. The plane is meant to go in low, very high speed, dump its ordnance on target, and evacuate the area. Get out of Dodge. And that's something most players just can't let it go. Gotta go there's somebody in front of me. Gotta dogfight him. Oh, just watching the matches where 105s end up trying to turn fight with MiG-21s and get BTFO'd. Yes, I said that. These planes are big and heavy. MiGs are small and light. Jaguars are considerably lighter than this aircraft. Phantoms are lighter than this aircraft. Every plane in the game, with the possible exception of the IL-28s, are lighter than this aircraft. And I'm not sure about the IL-28s. This is a honkin' big aircraft. When a pilot can walk underneath the open doors of the front landing gear without brushing his hat off, this is a big plane. When 1,000-pound bombs look like 500s on other aircraft, this is a big plane. When 3,000-pound bombs look like 2,000-pound bombs on an A7, this is a big plane. Keep that in mind and quit trying to dogfight with an F-105. If you're in an F-105 and you get a up-the-pooper shot of somebody who's not paying attention, take it. But if he starts turning, don't turn with him. Let him turn and just keep running. Or angle away from him. Get out of Dodge. You're not a dogfighter. You lose speed in a turn, and he is going to BTFO you. The 105 is a great attack aircraft, a strike aircraft. It's not a fighter. Yes, it's called a fighter bomber, but the emphasis is still on bomber. In a straight line, it's great. You start trying to maneuver, and you're taking away the biggest strength the aircraft has. Hit the target and get the hell out of the area. When the other team sees a strategic point disappear and they start going there, you should be long gone. Not hanging around to see what other things you can put your bombs on. You should be long gone. Out of the area, headed home. Even if that means taking a circuitous route to get there. You got the gas. Use the gas. And keep it in burner all the way. Now, somebody's probably going, well, we keep getting these enduring confrontation maps and they're so huge. Full tanks of gas. Burner all the way to the target, burner half of the way home. Once you get on your side of the map, you should have about 10 minutes of fuel. Throttle back. And you should be at high altitude. If you're at high altitude, you're not going to burn as much gas, number one. Number two, you have a fairly good glide ratio if you take the throttle down to about 40%. You'll be able to glide quite nicely back to base to rearm. The F-105 is a bomber, first and foremost, not a dogfighter. If you were dogfighting an F-104, you might be able to get away with it because it's got those itty-bitty wings. If you're dogfighting another F-105, you can get away with it because it's got the same poor performance as you do. I'm not putting down the F-105. I'm just saying there's too many players that have no idea how to actually use it. And I laugh every time I see somebody taking off and they've got 4 sidewinders and a gun. Why are you wasting your time? You're going to get BTFO'd. You take and go up against a Yak 38 and you miss him in your initial pass and he turns around and just plants one right in your tailpipe with an R60M or an R60. And you can't outmaneuver the R60. Trust me, this is not a plane that can outmaneuver an R60. Now, you might be able to outmaneuver an R13M, but barely. And only if he fired it from far enough away for you to actually see it being launched and take the time to do some turns. And hopefully you got your ordnance off because you're going to need that maneuverability, which this plane does not have. It's a bomber. But somebody got stupid and said, it's a fighter. It's not. Now, I would love to see it armed up with the Shrikes and the Standard Missile, and I don't think they ever got around to harms on these because they were pulled from service before the harm, the AGM-88, was actually introduced. But they did carry AGM-45s, and they did carry Standard Missiles. And don't ask me, I don't remember what the AGM number on that one is. And if we ever get those missiles, Gaijin, that's on you. Yeah, I could see carrying those into enduring confrontation to take down Airbase AAA. But this is a bomber. Primarily. use it as such. Don't go into head-on confrontations with other aircraft. You are a huge target. I'm not kidding. It's a big plane. It's a fun plane. Service record. The F-105. I've died in it 14 times out of 48 flyouts. Killed 28, 49 ground targets, 628,000 lions, and 84,000 experience points. It's a good aircraft, but it's best on enduring confrontation maps. Alternate history Spain is an absolutely screwed up map and should never be flown excuse me, with this plane, because all the targets are all centrally located. And again, it's a strike aircraft. Continue to view it as such. Do not view it as a fighter. It has the maneuverability of a dodo bird. That said, I do like the plane. I love this plane. But you have to know how to use it. And you can't use it like I've been watching people use it. Because all that's going to do is cause it to go down in battle rating. It's already at 9.7. And you can carry Sidewinders as offensive missiles, or defensive, I'd say more or less, or chaff pods. And I don't mean flare pods, I mean chaff. This thing didn't get flares, it has chaff to spoof radar missiles. It might be able to survive against semi-active radar homing. But it's not going to spoof an R-60 or a Sidewinder or a Magic. It's going to get blown away. It's a big baby of an aircraft. It's a very heavy aircraft. For all the engine power it has, it is still not the fastest aircraft in the game, but if used properly, you can get the first strike in and get out and go home. And that's what it's for. First strike capability. This Subdude signing out. Y'all have a pleasant today, better tomorrow. We'll catch you in the sky on the enduring confrontation maps, which are the best maps in the game. Take care, folks.